Thousands of years ago, people already traded goods across long distances. Ancient Mesopotamia developed one of the earliest major commercial networks. Beginning around 3500, these were not modern companies, but they were organized economic institutions. Large temple organizations managed workers, goods, storage, and trade. As trade became riskier, individual merchants needed partners. Several people could combine money, ships, and goods, and share the profits and risks. The big change came when businesses could organize capital from many investors. This made it possible to finance projects that were too expensive for one merchant. Gradually, the idea of shared ownership became more sophisticated. In the late 1500s, European governments began granting special charters. These charters could give this created a new kind of powerful business organization. On December 31, 1600, Queen Ai granted a royal charter to the English East Indies. It was created to trade with the East Indies and received a monopoly over English trade in a huge region. Just 2 years later, in 1602, the Dutch created the VOC, or Dutch East India Company. It became one of the world's first major joint stock corporations. The new corporate model solved a major problem: scale. Many investors could provide capital, while managers handled operations. This separation of ownership and management helped companies. The East India Companies were no longer simple local businesses. They operated across oceans, established trading posts, and managed complex supply networks. Their business. The English East India Company first focused heavily on Asian trade. It established trading factories and gradually expanded its commercial presence in India. The East India Company eventually became much more than a trading business. It gained powers to maintain armed forces, control territory, and exercise administrative authority. The major breakthrough was not simply selling products. It was creating a legal and financial structure and continue operating beehives of individual merchants. This helped shape the modern corporation. Once ownership could be divided into shares, more people could invest in a large business. Shares also made it easier for investors to transfer their ownership. This became an important foundation of modern capital markets. Over the following centuries, corporations expanded. They went into banking, railways, and oil. The basic idea remained powerful: combine capital, organize people, and build something larger. There was no single moment. Business organizations evolved over thousands of years, but the East India Company and VOC were turning points. Their model shaped today's corporate world. But here's the surprising part. Some of the most powerful companies in history, powerful enough to influence governments and control territories. So how did businesses become powerful? The Industrial Revolution changed companies forever. Factories allowed businesses to produce goods on a scale that individual craftsmen could never achieve. By the late 19th century, America was producing enormous industrial businesses. Steel, oil, railways, and manufacturing companies were becoming increasingly powerful. As businesses became larger, they needed even more capital. Stock markets allowed companies to raise money by selling ownership shares to investors. Limited liability became an important feature of modern corporations. It generally meant shareholders could have their financial loss limited to their investment in the company. During the 20th century, corporations expanded beyond their home countries. Production, offices, and customers could now exist across multiple continents. Computers transformed how companies stored information, calculated numbers, and communicated. Businesses could now manage enormous amounts of data much faster. The internet removed many of the barriers between businesses and customers. Companies could communicate, sell products, and operate across borders almost instantly. Today, some of the world's largest companies depend more on software, data, and digital networks than physical factories. A company can now serve millions of customers connected global infrastructure.